Okay, we're live. So this is Brandon, my nephew.
Hello.
We are going to go out and show Brandon the ropes. I'm going to show him one set of laps. And we're going to go in. He's going to take his first drive. And then he'll go by himself. I'll ride with him and then he'll go by himself. So that's the plan for today.
Ooh,
So
I wasn't expecting to go by myself.
Oh.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, no, we'll see.
We'll see.
We're playing everything by ear.
All right.
Okay, so here we go.
There's a lot more cars than I had imagined.
Oh, this is hardly any cars. There's very few cars here. This is low.
A lot of nicer cars.
So one of the things, like, depending on which kind of racing arrangement, where you go in, this is really chill. We probably could even go on up the top, but I'm going to be cool and go in at the bottom. Of course, you're very familiar with all this because you race this on what? Not iRacing, on R Factor 2. Because this track is on R Factor 2. So you've been around this track, so you know these turns.
It'll be interesting to see what because I'm trying to remember most of the stuff from that game.
Well, you got to drive. First 3 laps, it will be burned into your memory for the rest of your life. That's just reality. So cars come off right here, so you got to watch this. Now we're cutting into what's called the hot pit. Usually the paddock speed is around 10 to 15 miles an hour. This, you're supposed to kind of keep it under 40, but right now you're not going to accelerate. It's mostly to be slowing down so that you're going 15 when you come out. You generally come here, slow down. You're slowed down because there's a big turn when you get off. And sometimes we fuel here, but how much gas we got?
I filled it up.
You got it filled up. Okay, they're not even. Oh, here he goes. He's going to check. He knows me.
Making sure hood was
Thank you. What's that?
I was making sure the hood was down.
Oh, do that. I appreciate that.
Had just a little crack on it.
Appreciate that.
We're solid. It's just a body line.
Okay. See you soon.
Got a little group coming. If you want some space, I'll give you a point.
Okay.
2 more.
Otherwise, they're just going to pass me anyways.
1 more. Hell of a gap. Have fun.
Okay. Otherwise, those guys will pass you. So,
Yeah.
there's no speed limit here. There's a thing called the blend line, and you are not supposed to cross the blend line until it ends, and they're not supposed to cross the blend line. So it's like merging, but you're not allowed to merge until you're through the blend line, right?
Mm-hmm.
So blend line, blend line, blend line, blend line, blend line, blend line done. Now it's open season. Okay, so braking. You might want to start at the third brake. Make sure that you have the right entry into the turn. Right entry into the turn. I always talk to myself, say late apex, right? So brake early, make sure that you're done braking. I mean, you're not going to know these turns by heart yet, even though you've been on this track.
You gotta feel them.
You'll feel them. This one's really tight, but this car doesn't accelerate so fast it's going to knock you off, right? So you
I have done some tight cornering in it.
it.
To kind of get a feel for it, just coming off of highways and things like that, and it sticks pretty well.
Yeah. So this is kind of a weird thing. It's got a real apex right here, and so you kind of work in, and then you kind of take another apex. I always take this one too early, and then you drift. And you hit an apex, and you can really fly. This is a fun one. And go out. Then you got to get in, brake. This one's downhill off camber, but we're nowhere near what this car is capable of doing. So you drift out a little bit, but you won't do that all right away. Hit this inner apex right here and go. You'll hit about 90, 95. This baby will brake.
I have noticed the brakes are really good on
Brakes. Well, Scott put good brakes on it. Usually get out. Just your first few laps won't be quite as aggressive as this.
Just riding this is a lot of fun.
Oh yes, it's
Let's see
and
why-
the automatic makes life a lot easier.
Oh, I know.
Oh, here comes a little Ford. He's probably way faster than us.
Yeah, that's the guy that I heard spinning.
Now, here's the next thing. So look in your mirror. Look in your mirror.
Yeah, yeah.
See that gray Porsche dude coming up?
Yeah.
He's going to want to pass us. And so he's not close enough yet to pass us, but you'll see what I do at some point. I'm going to tell him with my hand which side to pass on. So I'm going to stay tight coming out of this turn, and I'm not going to go, and I'm going to stick my arm out to look at what I did with my arm. My arm is out the window, and I'm just being totally passive. And then once he's passed you, chase his ass. But don't go as fast as him because you'll die, because you're not a Porsche, right? You're not a Porsche. He's a Porsche. You're not a Porsche, right? We are in a land yacht, General Motors land yacht. But you can also learn lines from them. Just make sure that the time that's going to take you off the track is touching the brake right now. Right? You touch the brake.
You just take the corner.
Just take the corner, and if you hear the tires, you're not going off the track. First few times around, you don't want to hear the tires too much, right? But once you get better, you want to hear the tires a lot. And I'm not even pushing it right now, right?
Yeah.
And
I can tell.
I'm cheating on the. You got it like this. See that little divot there?
Yeah.
That divot took me off. You might have saw that one on YouTube. So you got to be careful. You don't want to cut these little concrete curb cuts. So, I'll come out and see. Tire noise is not a bad thing. Again, don't push it too hard. So here we are, coming up on the straightaway, 92, 95, hard brake.
That was a little bit harder this time.
Yeah, I know. We didn't even smell the brakes. When
Right.
you're really kicking ass, you smell the brakes. Right? This one here, my first 2 or 3 years of driving this track, I was really conservative around that corner. This one here is a tricky one. It's a decreasing radius. So this is not the one to make a lot of time through. But once you're past the apex, you can floor it coming out. Keep an eye on your mirrors. Let people by, right? You're the slowest car out here. You are definitely the slowest car out here. And you saw what I did. I just stayed in tight. That was a little pushy there. Okay, this is 5.6. 6 is you might want to not try to drift all the way out here. You want to late apex this guy. That turn 6 was my nemesis for the longest time, and then I just drifted out far enough so that I could get a nice late apex. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. I think you're supposed to drift out, 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 then cut in for that cone.
Yeah.
That cone right there, cut in. I think I'm in too far already because I'm already at the apex, and I feel a little fast right now. But don't touch the brakes, man. If you're turning. Don't touch the brakes, man. This baby will spin on you. And this one, start out because it's off camber, downhill. Just respect it for a while until you get the feel of it. And then have fun on the backstretch. Any questions?
I'm just absorbing everything.
Then I'll shut up for a while and just drive. Look in your mirror.
No, you're all right doing your talking.
Look in your mirror. Here comes a guy.
Yeah.
You gotta decide. He'll come up on me. I'm gonna stay tight to the inside on this, not accelerate. Give him a hand signal out, then tell him which way to get past you. And don't worry, they get past you. Right? And what you want is you want to get them past you as fast as possible, but don't do it on a turn. Any little short straight or a long sweeper maybe, but anywhere you don't want to fuck up some guy's $200,000 Porsche because you drifted into him and made him go off track, right? And so I would never wave a guy by on a turn or anything. I might do it here and then and I might even just not even touch it, tell him to go by, and then catch up with him, get to the outside. So waving by is a big part of the skill set. And again, don't be afraid of tires squealing. Be afraid of touching the brake. But you don't need to make the tires squeal
Right.
your first few laps. You can drive like a little old lady. Like next lap I'll do a little old lady lap. And they tell you, in Lemons, they tell you, just pick a side and drive it. I mean, I'm just having a little fun because I can't help it. Now that one's a tough one to judge so you don't go off, right? But that's what you're supposed to do on that one. And you don't do that for a while. Transmission temperature is because, you're going to give me transmission temp?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we got a trans-cooler on this thing. It's a nice cool day, 204.
That's the highest I've seen it since I've driven it.
Yeah. Well, it's been 250 on this track.
Wow.
So, I'd stay 90, brake before the third on this one, reverse a couple times. I'm in here, and I'm down to like 40 miles an hour. 40 miles an hour, it ain't even squealing coming through here, right?
Yeah.
So now, floor it, have fun. Okay, little old lady style. Let it off. Start braking at the third. Don't aggressive brake, and then think about, so I'm going to be hitting about 45 coming through here. It's not even squealing, right?
Yep.
Go out, and I'll be down. I'll probably be under 40 by the time I get to this one. Decreasing radius. This will eat your ass. This will kick your ass on this one. So 45 coming out of this one. You'll be behind me. Check your mirrors a lot so you know when to wave and do by. Brake early. So 45, 40 coming through this one. 40, and then accelerate. I punch it later. This one here. Just because for a few laps you won't know this memorized as well as you should. So you come through here and brake, and so like in the old days I would come through here like this and stay on the inside, and then get past this and then punch it. Right, and you saw it drop down 2 gears because I was so slow. Okay, I got a guy behind me. Check your mirrors. See a guy behind you?
Yeah.
Now this sweeper's a bad place, so he's going to have to stay with me, right? Actually, I can do it. Watch this. I'm going to pull right here. I'm just going to drive like this, like a little old lady. Drive 40, and I waved him by. And then as soon as he's by, he's faster than you, so you're not going to hurt him by catching up with him. See where he went? He's gone.
I've ridden in one of those little Velosters.
Is that a Hyundai?
Those things just, Hyundai, they just stick to the ground.
Because they're low like a big go-kart. Right, so now just kind of, I'm also coming out in the middle, so I'm not going to drift all the way there, right? So just don't, like when you're going fast, you want to drift right to that edge. You want your inertia to drift you to that edge. So I'm just going to be like 80 and then stop going up at 80, and then feel it. You can even glance at the speed. This would be a good one to have an entry of 45. Right, but don't look too much at your speed. That's what 45 feels around that corner.
I'm with you.
Yeah. So most of the time 45, but do not stare at the speedometer. You will lose your shit really fast, right? But if you're 45, you don't have to brake much more, right? I'm going to go through this one at 45, 40 now. Again, this is decreasing radius. This is 3.4 or 2.3 or whatever this one is. This one,
By decreasing radius, you mean
that
it's
means the
tighter
end of the corner is tighter than the beginning of the corner. So you think, I'm through it, and then it's like, oh shit, no, I'm in the weeds. Yeah, so that's decreasing radius. That was decreasing radius. This is just a tight little, oh shit. Guy came up on me really fast, but he didn't dive bomb me. caught me in the curve, and he just put on the brakes and waited till I got through the curve and let him go outside the curve, right? So just this one, I'm gonna drive the middle of the track, right? Which means if some shit goes wrong, I got space to work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That looks like a place where things go wrong a lot.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of places that things go wrong. Like I said, that turn 6 was my nemesis for the longest time, right? So so that's the thing. Give yourself space on the outside until you feel a little better. And you probably won't do too much on this first day, because the way you do this is you go and you survive the first few laps, come back off, and go like, fuck, I survived, right? And then think about it for a while, and then go back on, right? And then go home. And then your brain's going to replay this stuff over and over and over again. And then you'll come back and you'll want to push it a little bit, right? Right. So I'm still driving like a little old lady. I'm giving myself all kinds of like fuck up space on the outside.
Yeah, you got plenty of space.
Right. Here comes a Mustang, and I'm going to let him by. It's going to ruin my backstretch. I'm just going to sit here, and now I'm going to chase him. Because I can't catch him no matter what. He's got inertia. He's got power. Right? You can watch him for a little while. How you feeling?
Good. I'm feeling good.
Ready to drive?
Yeah, I mean, you're only gonna do it, and you just got to do it. You know.
Right. I mean, you need any more memorization of the track?
No, I'm
turns?
good. No matter what we do here,
What's weird about
this
track? This moment, that's decreasing radius.
Yeah.
This is a tight. Okay, guy coming by me. I'm gonna slow down, go to the inside. Little Alfa Romeo,
It's Alfa Romeo.
Alfa Juvia or whatever it's called.
No, that's the car.
Sorry.
But that little SUV's hauling ass.
Yeah. Yeah, he brings that out a lot. Okay, we're gonna go in.
So is that our brake smelling, or is that those?
That was his brake smell.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good.
We'll pull off. Okay, so when you pull off, I'll show you. You pull off this long back straight, and you have a hand signal when you pull off. Now, when you drive, I am not going to talk much. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, because I don't want to get you too much out of your zone.
Yeah, I would say, unless I'm doing something crazy, and doing something stupid.
I might say break now.
Yeah, that's fine.
You're too late.
Just don't talk to me about the weather.
Well, I'm not going to talk to you about. I'm not going to talk to you about like you should be more inside or more outside, because that doesn't matter.
I'm just trying to
really
get
want
used
you
to
to do
going
is
around the track.
trying to drive in the middle of the track.
Yeah.
And maybe go inside to the middle and not mess too much. So you can have. So this is our last lap. We're getting off. So we make sure we're on the outside. You can get with it. And then the signal is put your hand out with a fist like this. Fist up means I am not going that way, and you go inside of me and get around the turn, because I'm not taking any space in that turn. Right?
Right.
And so you put your fist out. Now, it doesn't matter quite so much without a bunch of cars, but the more cars, when you have a lot of cars, you put your fist up.
Right, it makes sense.
And get out. So now we're coming off hot pit. This is where we came on. And you can see here where the hot pit purpose is to let you slow down. But that turn slows you down. But it doesn't really have like a 10 to 15 speed limit the way... it doesn't have a 10 to 15 speed limit the way the paddock does. And if you're Lemons, it's 10 mile speed limit, and they rip you a new asshole if you fuck up. And here, usually at Lemons, there's rules about which way you go. Here, we're just like, all those people with $200,000 Porsches, they go whichever way they want.
Right.
Okay, what do we got? 223. Okay, so we're just going to we're going to go park, and we're going to let it run and see if it comes down. Because I heard that's the best way to get it down. And it's not even a super hot day, but we'll just keep it running. go see Mary Beth.